Hi everyone, so you can see I've still got my candle lit here. This is my 3 days of darkness candle. It got dark really early today. Like normally sunset is around like 9:35, 9:40. Today it got dark early, so I lit it while I was watching the tennis. You can see my Jerusalem Bible. I've had this since I was in high school. Long time. Actually kept it with me through my working holiday in UK, all through university, and yeah, it's still the Bible I keep and that I have. And today I was standing on my balcony watching strange lights in the sky. It was very strange because I've never seen that before. The lights, my camera picks up lights in the darkness for some reason, but I saw E.T. in the moon, like that movie we watched when we were growing up. I saw the bicycle in the moon with my naked eye, and I was like, that reminds me of E.T. I took some photos. It didn't come out clearly because I'm just taking them on my phone. I'm not taking them like with a professional camera. But you can see how they came up with that movie. And yeah, it's a nice night tonight. I went and stood on the balcony. I like to stand on my balcony in the evenings. And I see all the Carter updates from Jimmy Carter, from their foundations and all that. Today's my dad's birthday, so of course I thought of him when I see all these things. Jimmy Carter, the man that sold us out, the man that fought for black majority rule, and they didn't put anything in place for the rest of us except for the first 10 years. And then they didn't settle the Lancaster Agreement, and boy, I had to fight. Didn't I have to fight to get the money for the farmers? I fought and eventually they gave them some money. Not even from England, because Tony Blair's a greedy guts. And now he went to make friends with who? With Zambia. He's a greedy guts, that man. People are scared of him. I could see their faces when they had the meeting with him. People were like, oh, what is he doing here? What is he coming to our country? And the whites are always like that. They want the best for themselves. They want to be on top. Even when Daryl told me he married my mom because she's got the money, I just looked at him. I didn't say anything to him. What am I going to say? So, anyway, we all make choices. So today's my dad's birthday. That's why I thought about him, and I thought about this Jimmy Carter. Because when we were small, there used to be these huge discussions that used to happen in our homes. And this is my dad. Well, his photograph. I put one chrysanthemum here by Our Lady. And this is my dad's photo. Yeah, this one. See? My graduation photos in front of it. And these are my chrysanthemums. But yeah, I thought of him because there used to be all these big discussions, and we used to have curfew. So we had to be home. The women and children had to be home by 6 p.m. And then the men could come home after that in the war. Papa used to come home like around maybe, I think they used to be home by 7:30 p.m. So, and where we lived, there was all bush around us. So somehow God protected us, and we never had any break-ins or anything in the house until much later, after Granny left for England. Before that it was in the shop. Papa used to catch them, but after that it was in the house. So I used to be frightened. But yeah, I thought of him. I thought of my dad because he used to always get into big discussions with all his friends of different faiths. telling them about the Lord, telling them that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And he used to take me with him. So I used to go around to all the Muslim shops, all the Hindu shops, and I used to just stand by him. And they used to have these heated discussions about religion. And then they used to come, when they used to come to the house when we used to have our parties, they used to talk about what is the future going to be of our country. And a lot of people were frightened by the black majority rule, because we saw what happened in other countries. We saw how they went down. People got kicked out by like Idi Amin. So we were frightened. And we didn't know what independence would bring. But Rhodesia, the whites of Rhodesia, wanted the country for themselves. And Ian Smith used to say, I will never allow the blacks to come up. Then afterwards he had to change. He said, oh, well, I'll allow them seats in parliament, whatever. I don't even know what they had, but in the government, slowly, over time. He had to change because these people were pushing from here, the Americans and the Brits. Queen Elizabeth didn't want all the colonies anymore. And the Americans were dealing with their own war. They had their own wars going on, so they didn't want to take a chance with not supporting black majority rule for Rhodesia. And that's how they let the communists have the country. They're all about, oh, we anti-communism, we don't support the communists. But they let the communists win because Zimbabwe was funded by the Russians. The terrorists were funded by the Russians. And then you had the Rhodesian Armed Air Forces, and they were funded by private people and the local people they fought against the British first to get our independence, and then eventually they shut down, South Africa shut us down. Because the other places, the other countries surrounding us were also colonies, so South Africa was our lifeline. And then once they stopped the fuel coming in, life got unbearable for the local people, and we didn't have anything. We used to live by candlelight, study by candlelight, and eventually America pushed. America, Britain, and Switzerland, they pushed. They said, they told him, you have to step down. We're not going to. You have to have one man, one vote. So, I mean, it was obvious. I mean, do you think that the black people were going to vote for Ian Smith after he said that? But our rights were not protected, the rest of us, the Indians, the coloreds. So once that 10-year agreement was up, everything went downhill. My mother supported the communists. She used to tell me that I don't know anything. I said to her, I told you, Dad told you that they will hurt us. The crime will go up and everything will go down. The post office will shut down. She's like, you just keep quiet. You don't know anything. You children must just shut your mouths and don't say anything. I never used to say anything. But my dad used to tell me, if they come in, it's going to be bad for everybody. I used to just sit with him. Because otherwise, the adults, they used to get very upset. Then Papa used to take me in the room, say, Bulu, don't talk when there are guests in the house. I say, but Daddy said I can talk. Daddy said I also can have an opinion. He's like, don't talk. These people get upset. Then they go and tell other people in the town, and then there'll be too many problems. I said, but it's my house. It's our house. He's like, yeah, don't talk to them. So we used to sit in the bedroom afterwards. When the guests used to come, us children, we used to go sit in the bedroom or sit to one side so that we didn't offend them. That's how we grew up. But yeah, I made the most of the day. I went to Mass, I came home, did my John Maxwell, and then I decided, let me go out and buy some flowers for my dad. I always buy flowers for him every year. And I put them by his picture. And yeah. So that's it. Everything Dad said would happen happened. The communists, they're very bad. We don't, in Catholic theology, we don't support the communists. And Our Lady, she appears all over the world saying, don't support the communists, don't support the communists. Because they take away your freedoms, they take away like religious services, they shut down churches, they take away like, they don't like singing and all that opens up the heavenly portals. And they've done it before in a lot of different countries. So when you see Putin going there and praying and kissing the holy book, I don't know what he's doing, but we don't support communists. So, and even what they did, even what South Africa did, going and filing a case against Palestine. So what, they want to like claim that they know better. Meanwhile, their country is having blackouts, rolling blackouts, rising crime. Farmers are getting murdered. Women are getting raped. But they know, right? They know what's good for Palestine. Anyway, it's usually the whites that start it, then they get the blacks to support it. That's how it's usually done. Anyway, I'm glad I had that time with my dad, myself and my sister. And my brother, he was too small, but yeah, whenever I see Carter's things, I think of him. Not to say that they don't do good, but they make a lot of money off of it. Just like how they infected everybody with AIDS. Then they said, oh, it came from a monkey. A monkey bit a black person and then it spread. It's like, yeah, right. Which monkey? Which monkey bit a black person? Anyway, when you live in the war, you learn things. You learn when to speak up. And then you learn when to keep quiet. These police here, they think I don't know anything. I know what they do. America's got a lot of blood on its hands. When I came here, I never thought this was a socialist country. And our elections had communist interference. Lots of things here. Some of the MPs are supporting terrorists back in India. And then when Sophie and Justin went on their trip to India, one of the ministers, he put an assassin to stand by Sophie Trudeau. Just imagine. So anyway, I don't know what kind of security they do. But anyway, I had a good dad. He was a nice dad to me. He was a loving dad. And he was good. He's like me. It's like me when he used to get sick, he used to just want to stay at home. He used to say, you people go. Then he used to stand at the window and wait for me to come home. And then when he felt better, he took us out. He took us to Dutchman's Pool, took us to sports matches. We did a lot with him. And I liked him because he used to play with me. My mother never plays with me. My dad used to play with me. He used to kick the football, throw the frisbee. And that's why I missed him. And my mom never used to like my sister and I to play together. And one time she was pushing me in the wheelbarrow, and then my mother stood at the kitchen. We had like a half door, no, like those Swiss doors. The top half opens and the bottom half you can latch it. Then she stood there and she said, Anita, come inside. I said, oh, why are you going? I want to play with you. And she never answered me. And after that, my sister never played with me. So, yeah, my mother never played with me. But yeah, he was a nice dad. Anyway, for those of you who are watching, say a prayer for him and give thanks for his life. And I don't have mental health problems. These banks are corrupt. That's the problem. Who do you think funded the wars? It's them. It's the Americans. And they made, black majority rule, and then they all pulled out. They must go back and help Mnangagwa fix that country now. They wanted it. The Americans wanted it. Now there's all communism here also. It's like living through that same nightmare. No jobs, low-paid jobs, unemployment, no work, can't own your house. Who works for 50 years to buy a TV in the West? Who? Only slaves, like me. You go to a Jesuit college, you get a Jesuit education, you graduate from the top universities in the world, and this is what you land up with. This country's got nothing to be proud of. They should be ashamed at how they've treated me. They don't look at things the right way. Anyway, before I go to sleep, I'll blow my candle out. They say, the African dictators, they're the dictators right here. Their attitude is, if you don't like the job, leave it. If you can't do the job, we're not accommodating you. They're the biggest dictators. They're the biggest dictators. And if they hadn't agreed to black majority rule, then what? Then what? A bunch of assholes. They were. And I don't hesitate to say it. Anyway, I'm glad I pushed and eventually they gave some money to the farmers. I pray for things to change for me. I don't deserve this slavery. If you support communism, there's something wrong with you, because it goes against all Catholic teaching. Catholic teaching does not support communism. They don't support unprovoked attacks like happened at that party in Israel, and this nonsense of what South Africa's doing while Ramaphosa is a billionaire and his people are starving. That's pure communism. Pure communism. The whole world is becoming like that. Our Lady warned us. They don't want to listen, so